Hello BookTube, it's Louise the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you are well. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are and whatever you're doing. So this is going to be bookish news. I am going to come and show you my TBR for Non-Fiction November. There were quite a few readathons in October that I wasn't able to join and to participate for one reason and another. So I thought, well, I shall definitely have a go with the Non-Fiction November. It does seem to be quite big across BookTube. I know Olive has recently put out a video, so I shall try and link her video in below, so that if you want to read it, and she has some non-fiction recommendations. I read non-fiction throughout the year, but I am going to make it a priority to read that in November, and I've got a beautiful selection of some books that you've seen and some books that you haven't seen, or actually you might have seen all of these apart from one. But these are the books that I am going to be focusing on in the month of November. So parish notices. The first parish notice is to remind everybody that today, Saturday the 28th of October, is the last day of British summertime, and that the clocks go back at midnight tonight. Yes, so lucky all of you that have children under the age of 5, you're going to be woken up at 5 o'clock in the morning, not 6 o'clock, and it will feel like 3 o'clock. Yes, it's that for the next week. Their sleep time will be horribly disrupted, and you will say, how? If it only changes 1 hour, how can it be affecting you so badly at both ends of the day? I could never understand it. My son Benedict is an early bird, so we had the joy of getting up at 4:30. He was literally like, oh, it's my turn, but getting up at 4:30 instead of 5:30 with him on daylight saving week. So joy of joys, my heart goes out to you, everybody. Now he's 9, he can pretty much sort himself out, but he still will be affected for the next week. We will still hear him getting up stunningly early as we try to get back into winter time. We're going into winter time. I'm hoping to do, I am going to do a vlog every day in November. Yes. Second parish notice. I wasn't able to do Vlogtober, but I've really enjoyed watching everybody's Vlogtobers in both the knitting and crochet community, and there have been other people doing Vlogtober. And I know Vlogmas is such a big thing, and I'm not going to be able to do it in December. I just know that that's going to be an impossibility. So I was sorry that I missed Vlogtober, and I'm not going to be able to do Vlogmas. So I thought I would do Vlogember. So I will get you in the mood for Vlogmas, because I don't know if anybody else is doing a vlog every day in November. They won't be long. Some of them will be bookish, some of them will just be life, some of them will be knitting and crochet. So that's what I'm going to try and do. We will see how it goes. I've got some ideas for some videos, got some things going on in November, which leads me to my third parish notice, which is to say thank you so much to everybody that came and left a comment under my giveaway tag for the question and answer video. So that is a video that I will definitely be doing in November. I suspect I will actually have to do 2 because of the amount of questions that have come in, which has stunned me. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been absolutely wonderful. I have loved reading the questions. There's some brilliant questions. So I shall be closing the giveaway on Tuesday the 31st of October, and during the beginning of November I will be recording probably 2. The first one is the one where I will announce the results of the giveaway, which is 2 books of Agatha Christie's plus 1 or 2 little goodies that I can find for you. So as I say, this is an international giveaway, so you still have a couple of days to leave a question starting your comment with the word giveaway. And the last parish notice, while I'm here, is to say that there are still tickets available for the fireworks party exhibition, I don't know, what do we call it, fireworks, it is a fireworks party on Saturday the 4th of November. You just need to give Ollie and Debbie a ring. There are still tickets. You can tell them how many you want and what kind, and they will find the cheapest way for you. And there is still also, when you go along to pick up your tickets, you need to take cash. You will be able to get an opportunity of picking your garden for the guess where the last rocket goes. So each year there is a guess where the last rocket goes, which garden it goes into, and if you want, you can also add a guess of how much damage is created by that last rocket, because it's one of the big industrial ones. I was talking to Malcolm the other day, and he still hasn't managed to get anybody to come and look at the outdoor convenience, the window that was smashed in by last year's. So they're still hoping to get that done, because Wendy was telling me it is quite drafty. At the moment, it is quite drafty when you are caught short outside and you have to use the outdoor convenience. So yes, there are still tickets, and you can still put your name down on Guess the Garden, which is great fun. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. I'm going to pick up my tickets later today. Oh yes, I am. Very exciting. So without further ado, I am going to show you the books that I am going to read for Non-Fiction November. Wasn't able to join Spookathon or the Autumn Readathon by Mercy. So Mercedes from Mercy's Bookish Musings did the Autumn Readathon. And there was Spookathon, and they've been two really big readathons in October that I wasn't able to join. So I thought I will do Non-Fiction November. I will. So these are the books that I am thinking about I'm going to read. First two, I have started dipping in. Some non-fiction books, just checking how long I've been going on. Right, some non-fiction books, I can just sit and read cover to cover. That tends to be like the true crime books, some history books, memoirs, and then others, which is factual about a certain subject. Let's just go with that. I find myself that I dip in over a time, and I will read a little bit each day, and I will normally give myself, so right, I'll read a chapter each day, or something like that, until I get hooked and I carry on reading it. So there are two books I have already started about subjects that I'm fascinated about. So the first one is called The Hive by Bea Wilson, and I don't think I've shown you this. Look, I bought a book. It's called The Hive by Bea Wilson. And it's the story of the honeybee and us. So it is a factual book all about the honeybee, and it's got illustrations. And she is actually called Beatrice Wilson. And she is known as Bea. So she actually addresses that in the introduction. No, it is actually a nickname that she's had long before her fascination about honeybees started, but this is a whole thing about that. I love bees. I'm getting more and more fascinated into bees and their society, and I'm so drawn to books about bees. So I thought I wanted to read a factual book about it. So The Hive, isn't that beautiful? And she lives in Cambridge. She's a Cambridge author. So at some point, it'd be fabulous if I could meet her and ask her questions about it, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, there we go. The Hive. I've started that already. I've only read the introduction and the first couple of pages about who's who in the beehive. The other book I have started was one that I got on holiday. It's called The Old Ways by Robert McFarlane. A Journey on Foot. And I can just hear that Benedict and the husband have come home from their little trip around Cambridge. Benedict was having his hair cut. Husband phoned up to say, I've got this and got that. We're going to come home now. And I said, how's Benedict's hair? And he went, oh yeah, we're just going to go on and have his hair cut. He completely forgot that that's why they went in for. He'd had a nice breakfast, he'd had a nice little mooch around. The one thing I wanted him to do. Anyway, Benedict will be coming in. Hello! Oh, his hair looks nice. His hair looks nice. He looks very pleased. He's growing his hair at the moment. Slightly off the topic of books. My son, who's 9, is growing his hair. And he's got hair like mine. So he could end up very long. But it's got to a really bad stage where it's very bushy. I remember that stage well. So we're having to manage it. The back door's open. Yeah, the back door's open. Anyway, so I've started reading this, The Old Ways, A Journey on Foot. And it's all about, at the moment, it's about paths and tracks. And the people that have written about paths and tracks along the way. So that's what I'm reading at the moment. So I've started it. I have read First 20 pages. And it's glorious. Absolutely glorious. This was a book that I mentioned on my, hello lovely, on my, do you want to come in and show everybody your new hair?
Yeah.
It looks nice actually. Do you want to see Benedict's new hair? Come around this way, come around that way.
It's in the blocking the path.
No, come here. There we are.
Hello.
Go down, you have to go down. Oh look! So I've told BookTube that you are growing your hair.
Yep.
I don't think you're going to go as long as me, are you?
No.
No, you're not going to go as long as me, but you've had it done and it looks lovely.
Yeah.
Are you pleased with it?
Yeah.
Cool. Off you go then. Let me just finish this off. Oh, okay. Dilly bean. So yes, anyway. Lost my flow. I mentioned this in my last video, which is actually a knitting video, so you might not have seen this if you're a bookish person. And it is The Secret Life of a Knitter Yarn Harlot by Stephanie Pearl-Macphee, and quite a few people have left messages on that saying that she is hilarious and that these books are brilliant and anything she writes is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to this. It's a very nice American or Canadian paperback, so it'll be a treat to read. It looks like it's going to be quite quick. It's more like a collection of blog posts is what I want to say. So beautifully tonal so far. Oh, that's going to ruin this. Two true crime I have here. Lie After Lie by Lara Brecker. A true story of a master of deception, betrayal and murder. True crime set in small town New Hampshire. I listen to Crime Writers on a podcast and Lara Brecker is one of the crime writers. So it's a classic American-style true crime. And another classic American-style true crime is The Stranger She Loved by Shanna Hogan. I heard about this on a podcast, I want to say Sword and Scale. Is that it? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, I heard that. So it's Dr. Martin McNeil, his beautiful wife, and an almost perfect murder. So those are my two true crime books, which I'm going to leap into, and I've been really dying to read them. This is one of those books that I might dip into over the time. It's Tim Smit's Eden, about the Eden Project. As you can see, if you watch any of my Cornish vlogs, we go to the Eden Project every single year. We absolutely passionately love it. The husband actually went before they opened it properly, and he's got pictures of how they started building it. It is the idea is about teaching people. It's about celebrating and teaching people how to reuse, renew, recycle. It's just amazing. It's an amazing place full of the most beautiful plants, and it's just a glorious place down in Cornwall. So this is about the Eden Project. So I shall read that. Then Riverine, which is a memoir from anywhere but here. So it's a memoir about a person and a place, is what I gather, and it's by Angela Palm. I saw this on Mercedes' channel, Mercy's Bookish Musings, and I thought it sounded amazing. So I thought I shall give that a go. Another book that that Mercedes recommended me, which I then ordered, is another memoir. It's called The Hate Race by Maxine Beneba Clarke, who is an Australian lady. What is it? Against anything I'd ever been told was possible, I was turning white. On the surface of my skin, a miracle was quietly brewing. Hula what? So, one of Australia's most exciting writers and author of the multi-award-winning Foreign Soil comes a powerful, funny and at times devastating memoir about growing up black in a white middle-class Australia. So this was on my reading of Between the World and Me. She suggested I should read this as well. So I have two Mercedes recommended books, Riverine and The Hate Race. And the last one, I'm precariously balancing the books. The last one, we've got a kitten and he's attacking the carpet. Come out here. Oh, he's also got some stuff on his nose. I'm recording a video. And you're going to have to come in. You are going to have to come in. This is the craziest video. This is the husband. Wearing, your hair's almost as long as mine. Wearing a wizard's, you look like Gandalf. Beard and long wig. So yes. And that arrived this morning. We're going to a Halloween party later. That's what that's for. It's hilarious. He's got a full wizard costume. With he's just picked that one up. This is one of the weirdest videos I've done. Anyway, this is the last book, Passmortems, Life and Death Behind Mortuary Doors by Carla Valentine. So I read, like so many other people, read Caitlin Doherty's first memoir, which is up here. 1 second. I can't see it. Where did I put it? I can't remember. Oh, well, it's A Life of a Mortician. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. That's right, which is about the life of her as a mortician and how she became, working in a mortuary and how it changed her perception of death in particular. I found it fascinating. I love her YouTube videos. I like what she's... the colour of her jib, quite frankly. That's what I like, the colour of her jib. And so I've been looking for other people's, and this... is set in England, so this is also a memoir about somebody, life and death behind a mortuary door. So I shall come report back on that. So that'd be quite good for those people that liked Caitlin Doherty. It might be another book that I can recommend. There it is. Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. That was good. I spotted it out there. Next to Good Morning. So there we are. So here we go. Here are the obligatory style of books, a stack of books that I can show you. So these are my selection for Non-Fiction November, which starts on Wednesday, the 1st of November, which is hopefully, no, it is when I'm going to start doing a small video every day in some ways. What am I reading up until that point? I finished Origin by Dan Brown. I shall do a little wrap up during November of the books that I've read recently, but what I'm reading at the moment is an old Stephen King, Mr. Mercedes. I don't know how I missed this one. I've read a lot of them. I think after a while I stopped reading them, but I haven't read Mr. Mercedes. I haven't read it. It's a trilogy, isn't it? So I thought I'd read this one. I would read this one in my little run-up till November. So I am about... Oh, thank you, husband. He just brought me a cup of tea. I've read up to page 42, and it's so familiar, because I've read so many Stephen Kings. It's so familiar, and yet it's such a good story. But it has that kind of Stephen King vibe, which I just find so eminently readable. Whatever you think about it. So there we go. There we go, BookTube. I am now reaching over. Husband's just brought me a lovely steaming hot cup of tea. I'm sure he's now taken his wig and hair off. You look far more handsome, my darling. I was worried you were out hairing me there. So yes, so there we go, BookTube. That's a little slice into our Saturday morning. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and all my love to you. This has been lovely. Let's do this again. Bye.